Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop right there. This channel is not intended for kids under the age of 13. So if you're under the age of 13, please leave.
Hey everybody, Arthur here with another unboxing video. Today we have McFarlane Toys, DC Multiverse, Batman Beyond, and this is not the Target exclusive one. This is the one that shows the mouth, and it comes in the typical DC Multiverse style packaging. Here we have the back of the package. It just has the figure posed up, flying through the sky, and then at the bottom it shows other McFarlane DC figures that you could purchase and collect. Inside the packaging, we get the collector's card, and it's the same image we've seen on the back of the box, which is quite disappointing. I wanted to have some like artwork on the card, not just a picture of the figure I just bought. Sort of a bummer. Don't know why they're doing that on some of the cards, but then other ones are actual artwork. On the back of the card, we have some read-up information, so feel free to pause it if you'd like to read it. Now, one thing that comes with this figure that I was highly impressed with was not just its base with the cool DC logo on there, because this is like your typical McFarlane stand for their figures, but it's actually a flight stand, and it looks awesome. Came in two parts, and it's like ratcheted like to open and close the clasp, and then it's same with moving it up and down. So it's nice, stiff, and sturdy to actually hold the figure. Now, Terry comes with one Batarang. Yes, you've heard me right. One Batarang. It's casted in red plastic. It's quite thick. It could have been a little bit thinner. Could have probably cut this in half and gave us two of these. But I wish I would have got the proper Batarangs that I wanted. The other figure that's a Target exclusive came with the Batarangs that I wanted, but not the right head sculpt. So in order for me to have a complete Batman Beyond, I'd have to buy two figures, one I don't want, just to get the Batarang out of it, and that sort of sucks. One reason I like this figure is because we get these nice thrusters. You get a pair of them, and they plug right into the bottom of the feet, and they're in translucent plastic from that dark orange to the brighter yellow. It looks great. They actually did a really great job on these. Mr. McGinnis comes with two claw-like, I'm gonna get you type of hands. We do get a pair of alternate hands. They're trigger finger hands, which I guess you could use them to hold the Batarang or something of that nature, but you give us two trigger fingers, Todd, Mr. McFarlane. You give us two trigger fingers, but no gadget or tool or guns to utilize those trigger fingers. Granted, I have plenty of guns from other figures, but you gave us trigger finger hands and didn't give us anything to utilize it with. Here we have a close-up of Terry's face, and this is the head sculpt I wanted. Right when I saw it, like, this to me is my Batman Beyond. I don't want the one that has the face mask covered, and I don't understand why Todd just can't give us an alternate head. We could have kept the alternate head with this guy and the other Batarang and called it a night, but they keep wanting to do two different figures and get double the money. Not for me, though. Not for me. But this head sculpt is phenomenal. When you're talking about McFarlane Toys, sculpting is not an issue with them. They can nail it when they want to, and they definitely nailed it for this figure. Then you get into his bat symbol on his chest. That's not painted. That's actually a chunk of red plastic they molded and glued in there, which it looks pretty clean for what it is. You know, there's a little bit sticking up on the side, but I mean, when I say sticking up, it's just not as pushed down, I guess, up there, but it still looks clean. Like, it looks good. I like it. It's all casted in black plastic, which is okay. You know, you're dealing with a figure that's, mainly all black. We get some awesome gauntlets going on right there. All blurry and everything. Awesome. But they are painted glossy black, which is really good. Looks nice. It's only glossy paint that you'll see on this figure is these little gauntlets. And then this one is all warped, came warped out of the package because it got bent or whatever. So you can see how it's like wanting to curl back. So I got to heat this up, cool it off so it gets straight, because it looks very crooked. Then we get into the main paint of this figure. The eyes are painted, the gauntlets are painted, they're clean. This is a black belt painted red and silver. And you got red on the silver, as you can see. And when I angle it, you can see some overspray of the silver on the red. It's just not clean. For a figure that has very, very minimal paint, it's not as clean as I would expect. I mean, especially when the figure is like a $20 to $25 figure. You know, come on. It's not like they're doing much. I've seen Spawn figures with a lot cleaner paint jobs and uses a lot more paint than this. Then we get into his legs. They're all, again, casted in black. Like, there's no boots, really. And you get these nasty, like, I know figures are doing these, like, especially imports, like the balls like that. But when he's standing there, why? Why do you have these giant meaty ball joints? Like, if you could do it in the wrist, right there, and it looks nice and clean, why can't you do it down by the feet? You know, it's crazy. But we do get some treading on the bottom of the feet, which look awesome. It's like futuristic treading on your shoes. And then the back, we get the wings. And the wings are wings. They're there. They're articulated. You can't take them off. It's plugged into the back. And you can see the big old plug. So I've seen people pop it out, and it leaves a giant gap on the back. Now to dive into these 22 points of articulation. So his head, you know, he can get some attitude going on there. You know, it moves around very nicely. He can look up that far, look down that far. You'd think he'd be able to look up further. Like if he's flying and stuff like that, you'd think his head could look up, but it technically hits the back of the head. So I'm sure if you dremeled it out a little bit, which I won't, you could get him to look like that. We get some... I don't get it why toy companies do this. You got a butterfly joint that's in there. You can see it's trying to do something. And that's just it. That's all you get. Like that's it for butterfly joint. That sucks. It sucks so bad. His arms can click up quite far, actually. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, can scratch the back of his neck, wrist rotation, and you get the bend. So lots of articulation in the arms. You know, just make sure when you're moving them up here, because you don't want to break the bicep or pull it off of this part. We get the ball up in the upper torso, so you can twist them. You know, all the type of movement you'd want in a figure there. Then we get the double ball at the bottom, so you can do a hula hoop dance. And then he can do the Van Damme. And he can kick up. He can do a Spartan kick. No field goal. It's okay. He has thigh cuts that are sort of there. They're sort of inside, but not much. And his double jointed knee is really, really good. He can basically kick his own butt. Get ankle bend, pivot, and did I just say ankle bend and pivot? Ankle bend and rotation. No pivot, actually. The pivot doesn't seem to be existent on these ankles. Oh, and we get one last one. We get a toe bend. Here we have Terry with his wings attached to his arms. And you see me, I'm holding him up with one foot. The cape on the back is so heavy that you can't really get him to stand properly. Like, the only way to do that is you literally have to arc his, like, abs forward and make him hunched over to balance out the weight. His wings attached, they look cool looking like this. And on the back, you can see where they actually attach. The wings bother me more so than the belt. The belt has a little bit of paint issues, but whatever. These wings, this part right here that you're looking at should be all black. The inside of the wings should be red. Black, red. Why did they not do that? And you know, if they would have followed that, these parts that stick through that attach to his gauntlets wouldn't stick out like a sore thumb because it's all black. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't get what McFarlane Toys is doing. But as you can see, there's the little clip that hangs onto the cape. Cool idea, you know, or his wings, cape, wings, whatever. But I mean, and the fact that they didn't allow you to take the wings off is a bummer because he doesn't always have the wings on. He doesn't. If you're familiar with Batman Beyond, he either will have the wings or they don't have the wings, but he doesn't walk around like it's a cape. As for the Batarang, he can hold it in all his hands. He can tuck them between fingers and things like that. It's not bad. Again, I just wish it came with the other ones. Time to compare the two Batman Beyonds that we got recently. And I know it's going to be harder to compare because this isn't really true 1/12 scale. This is more of like a 7-inch figure versus like a 6-inch figure. But you can see now, one of the things that stands out right out the get is, I love the belt on this one, but look at this. This is like a burgundy, like orange to a true red. So it's like, I didn't really realize it until comparing them side by side. Why didn't they do the red? Why did this one do this belt? Like, there's a lot of what ifs and whys. Like, I love the head sculpt on this one. I love that gritting teeth and it's all smooth. But McFarlane does a great job with like making stuff look very futuristic, like the line work in the face and everything. And then you have the gauntlets and everything look a little bit more futuristic. They both work. They both look good. This one should look better because it's at a bigger scale. You can get more details and stuff out of it. But when you're looking at them side by side, you can really, I mean, it's your opinion of which one, but this one's going to scale more with your Marvel Legends. If you collect Legends, this guy's a 7-foot beast. So if you're going like 1/12 scale, you know, 7 feet tall is technically 7 inches if it's 1/12 or whatever. But again, both these are awesome. I love to have them. And then this one, not to say that this is any better, but look at that. That's still red on the top as well. It's quite a bummer. And if you have both Batman Beyond figures, then the thruster actually works with both. Now, when it comes to that flight stand, it works quite well. I tried starting it by putting it around the waist, the clamp around the waist, but with the thrusters, it was touching the bottom, so there wasn't really much elevation. So you can clamp it around his upper thigh, and you do get some clearance off the ground. He's wobbly when he's like that, but you do get that clearance, and it's not bad. I mean, for a figure at this price range, you know, it's a step up with the stands. I mean, there's figures that we don't even get stands with, but this figure looks freaking awesome. Now, good thing I collect other figures because I can actually utilize those trigger fingers. I had to scrounge up a futuristic looking gun, which thankfully I had one from Mezco. And honestly, I mean, it works. It definitely works. When it boils down to it, McFarlane released a legitimately solid Terry McGinnis Batman Beyond figure. It's awesome. I like it. It has its issues. It's not a perfect figure, but really what figure is nowadays. But this one still looks awesome. It has a lot of customizing, you know, that you could do yourself to get it to be that perfect Batman Beyond figure. And it looks great. It definitely looks good. I like both the Batman Beyond figures that I have. I'm going to use the other one more with my Legends because it scales better. But we don't really get much when it comes to the Batman Beyond verse when it comes to figures. I mean, I think they released it a long time ago, like the animated version sets and stuff like that, but then it just was a barren wasteland. And now we're just now starting to get more Batman Beyond figures, which is awesome. And I'm going to support that 100%. And if you're a Batman Beyond fan, definitely this figure is worth picking up. If you want the Target exclusive, just mind you, it'll come with a different Batarang. Don't think it comes with a flight stand or the thrusters, and it has the mouth and nose covered up with like a mask of some sort. So, you know, or if you're a hardcore fan, get both, I guess. But for me, I'm sticking with this one. I'm content with it, and I think I'm just looking at it right now and it looks badass. But that sums up my unboxing and review of McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman Beyond figure. If you guys like what you saw, hit that thumbs up. New to my channel, just smash that subscribe button for me. And if you are wanting to know when I post up a new video, click that silver bell notification. show some love. Check out Toyco Toys and Collectibles. Website's down below for you guys, and there's a promo code specifically for you to get free shipping on anything you see on that website. So definitely check it out and see if there's anything that you'd like. There's also a Facebook pre-order group for Toyco that allows you to join in for free, and it allows you to stay in the know with what's coming out. And if you see something that you like, you can say you want to pre-order it, because Andrew has some amazing pre-order prices. So definitely check that out as well. And I want you guys to have the best luck hunting, keep on collecting, and have a beautiful day.